All right, hi everybody. So today we've got a DD15. One of the common issues that we see on these, we don't do a whole lot of this work anymore here, we're more in the emission side of the business. But if we have a customer comes in with some other issues, we'll kind of oblige them and take care of everything if we can. Oil pan gasket leaking. So I've had several customers that come in and say they've gotten their oil pan gasket changed like 3 times in the last year, 2 years, and it continues to leak. Unfortunately, with these Duraplastic oil pans, it's not always the seal or gasket that's leaking. What we found, I'll show you on the front cover, which it's an aluminum plate, and I have one out that I'll show you. It's right in behind the balancer here. And I've done several of these. If you take the tensioner out and take the tensioner out first, you can get the harmonic balancer out without pulling the radiator and the fan. It's a little heavy, but it is doable. Then once you get that off, you can take this plate off. So I'll show you what we have going on, or what the last, I mean, almost every one that I've changed that continues to be a problem. So here's that front cover. You can see you got oil residue up above. So when you're looking for an oil leak, you always want to look for the highest point. So obviously the oil pan's down here, and you have residue all the way up this high. The way this one was leaking, we thought the main seal was leaking, but after we took the balancer off, obviously the main seal is good. So there's a steel gasket that goes behind here, and that starts leaking over time. And here's the real problem with the oil pan gasket. So that plastic, even though that oil pan has rubber isolators, you're still going to get like little micro vibrations. And what that does is eats into this aluminum, and that will never seal. So, I mean, you can throw a new gasket on it, new gasket, new gasket, new gasket, but you're not going to seal. I mean, that's cut in almost probably over 1/16 of an inch right there. So if you want to fix the problem, usually, I mean, these are real. I mean, all these parts are relatively cheap. It's a little bit of time to do the job, probably 6 to 8 hours to do everything. You need to replace this plate. You have to put the main seal in it. I usually put the main seal in it before I put the plate on. It's a little bit easier, and I haven't had any issues doing it that way. And then I would recommend replacing the oil pan. You can get the oil pan complete kit that already comes with the gasket in it and all new isolators and all new bolts in it. So everything's brand new. And then make sure at the front and rear structures that you get your gaps silicone with a nice big, I mean, I use a lot of, I'll put a 1/4 inch bead of silicone across it just for good measure, and make sure when you're putting it up in there, I'd use 2 people and make sure you get it straight up and you're not moving it around to smear that silicone around. So, but 9 times out of 10, when somebody comes in and they've had an oil pan issue where it just won't go away and they've replaced gaskets, this is what's causing the problem, and that will never seal like that. So yeah, if you're having that issue, check that stuff out, and if you do take it somewhere to have them pull it off, I mean, make sure they're checking this out. And if it's damaged like that, you're gonna need to replace it, or you're just gonna keep throwing oil pan gaskets at it. And like I said, as affordable as the oil pan kits are from Freightliner, I would just replace everything and be done with it, and that should solve your problem. So that's pretty much all we have today. If you guys are in the DPF, DOC, sensor, NOx sensor, temp sensor, pressure sensor market, or EGR coolers, or any type of emissions related products, check out our new website at www.dpfdiscounter.com. Great competitive prices, and also on a lot of the products, free ground shipping. So check that out. Again, that's www.dpfdiscounter.com. So thanks for watching. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, hit the bell for the updates, like the video, and we'll see you next time.